Well, my name is John Hartson. I'm an ex-professional footballer. I played for 8 clubs. I have 5 children. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm really settled with my life at the minute with my wife and my 5 beautiful kids. They're all healthy, which is the main thing. I've got my health back from where I was a few years ago. I was really struggling at one time. I thought I was going to lose my battle with cancer. I feel very, very blessed that I came through that. And now I'm like an ambassador for several companies like CBD, you know, like 1 or 2 other cancer things like this. I've raised a lot of money for charity through the John Hartson Foundation. We have an event coming up now in August in one of the function rooms in Glasgow that's sold out, over 500 people. So we get so much support with the foundation. We help so many people. And I'm in a great place. I'm just a very normal guy from a council house in Swansea, like a lot of us are, and just very normal, just very normal, down to earth, and that's the way I like it. Representing my country, I think you can't go any higher than represent your heritage, you know. I think when you represent your country, you're representing your children, your parents, your grandparents. It's an incredible moment for me to have put that Welsh number 9 shirt on over 50 times, and heroes of mine like Ian Rush and Mark Hughes and Dean Saunders, all these guys had worn that shirt before I had the opportunity to wear it. So growing up in Swansea, I just wanted to be a footballer. I wanted to get as high as I could, you know, in terms of how high could I go on the football scale. I managed to get to the very highest level, and I don't think it comes any higher than representing your country. So I was very, very honoured to have worn that Welsh shirt in front of 72,000 fans at the Millennium Stadium. That was very special. Training for me was really hard because I wasn't a natural athlete. I had to work. I was a big guy. My brother's a big man. My father's a big man. We're naturally just big boned as a family. So I had to train that little bit harder for myself to get to a certain level where I could get into the team. I found it very, very hard. I think pre-season training, nothing can prepare you for a pre-season when you're growing up. For me, through that council estate in Swansea, leaving school at 16, nothing can prepare you for the type of training that you're going to go into. You don't see a ball for the first 3 or 4 weeks. It used to be like that anyway. I think nowadays there's more sports science. They don't do as much long running, things like this. That the players now wear heart rate monitors for training. There was none of that around when I was coming through. All the sessions are filmed now, and the players go back to the video room back at the stadium to watch the training sessions that they've just completed. None of that. Basically, it was a pub lunch. Maybe you'd have a couple of pints, chicken and chips. That's the way that we lived back then, 25, 30 years ago. When I went to Arsenal, there was a few drinkers in the team, well publicised, known drinkers like Tony Adams and Paul Merson, and a few of us would go for a few pints in the afternoon after games, Ray Parlour, and nobody thought anything of it. You know, that was the way it is. But I think nowadays a lot of it has changed. You know, players now, they're athletes. They have the right sort of food, they drink the right things. Everything is looked at. How can they get an advantage over another club, a top club? And that's why they bring these fitness experts in. And now I think players anyway, especially with social media, you don't see players anymore falling out of nightclubs and jumping in taxis 3 o'clock in the morning or queuing in kebab shops, and you just don't see that anymore now because of social media. Generally everybody's wanting a picture. People are videoing every sort of step of your sort of route back to the outside the club. So players are a little bit more conscious of that. But Many years ago, it was, the social media wasn't around, the camera phones. And but going back to your original question about the training, I found the training very, very hard, but I adapted to it. And at stages of my life, I was fitter than others. But no, as I said, it was a shock immediately, because nothing prepares you for the level that you've got to get to in terms of your fitness. It's like a professional boxer. I think if you're an amateur boxer or just a run-of-the-mill, white collar boxer, then it's nothing compared to what level you have to be if you want to go professional. You've got to dedicate your life, you've got to dedicate everything into your profession. And that's what the players do a lot more now. I think the modern player is a lot more fitter. They're giving more information on general health and fitness than ever before. I don't know, does it mix with a couple of pints of lager? I don't know. Obviously, I can't really speak for them, because I was young, I was fit, I didn't really pick up any injuries until I was over 30. I was quite lucky with injuries. But I suppose, like today, I would imagine it would have helped a lot of players if they'd got injuries, but obviously they never knew about it then. But I think today, CBD, it's helped me immensely. I finished football, I needed three operations on my knee, including a knee replacement. I think the CBD rub is fantastic. It settles it all down, takes any swelling as well down. I think the oil is great. It just gets rid of all the aches and pains, settles everything down. A couple of days ago, I trained quite hard the day before in my gym. I knew I was playing golf the next day. So the next morning I wake up, I take some CBD just under my tongue. By the time I teed off, it was absolutely fine. It relaxed my back and everything else. Now I'm not saying it's an absolute miracle, but I think what it does, CBD, it helps me with certain aspects of my life, and it's been a real sort of life changer in terms of what I've been able to do in terms of my training, my recovery. I love golf. I like sometimes going out and watching football matches in the evening. If I can go and sit in the cold and everything else, then that makes my injuries and things pretty stiff. So I come home, I take some CBD before I go to bed. Not only does it sometimes, help me with my aches and pains, but it also gives me a fantastic sleep. And sometimes, as we know, sometimes people with anxiety and things on their mind. I don't suffer an awful lot with anxiety, and I generally just try and live day to day. But for me, I think the CBD oil, it's been a game changer for me. Well, I start my day with, I get up in the morning, and if I'm feeling really stiff, because I've had 2 back operations, and if I'm feeling really stiff, I'll definitely go into the bathroom and I'll take maybe 1 large one or 2 small pipets of CBD just under my tongue, and I'll rinse that out with a little glass of water just to get a little bit rid of the taste. And then generally, before I get to the bottom of the stairs, I'm feeling great. So that's when you feel to yourself, this stuff is incredible. I don't smoke, I've never smoked, but people, it's cannabis oil. It's another form of cannabis oil, but it's totally legalized, it's all legal. And lots of people use it, lots of boxers are using it. Because like me, it settles a lot of aches and pains down. There's nothing worse than going about your day feeling quite achy or stiff back and things. It sorts that out almost immediately. The very next day, if I wake up and I'm fine, I won't use it. I'll have a day without it, which shows me that it's not really addictive. I use it when I need it, and it's there for me, and it really, really helps me. But I don't need to take it every single day, because I'm not stiff and I've not got aches all the time. It's just when I have an ache or when I'm off to play golf, I know that I'm going to be swinging a lot more comfortable. If I'm going in the gym and I'm doing a little bit of pad work, I'm going to be, not so many aches and pains. I can manage it. So for me, it really has helped me with the benefits of taking the CBD, and also the gummies, and also, as I explained, the rub for my knee. Well, I had 2 emergency brain operations because the cancer, testicular cancer, had spread to my lungs and onto my brain. So I wouldn't say the CBD helped there with my recovery. It was more cancer, it was more time, it was more just allowing everything to settle after my brain operations. I was very, very fortunate to have come through that cancer battle in the first place. Very grateful, because I know a lot of people, they lose their battle with cancer. And cancer is the biggest killer of men in the UK. It's absolutely horrific. It ruins people's lives. I'm very, very blessed and grateful to have been one of those cancer sort of survivors, if you like. But what I would say in particular with my 3 knee operations, my knee replacement, just going about my day-to-day, it's using the CBD have certainly helped me with the oil as well. So for me, I use it quite a lot now. I think it's so beneficial. And when you've got people like myself and 1 or 2 others in the sporting world recommended it and saying that they use it and they swear by it, it's not a myth. I can tell you, it's really not a myth. It's actually really beneficial to anybody, that ex-sportsmen who have had a long career, that finished their careers and they got bad hips, or they need hip operations or knee operations. It's happening all the time. People are retiring all the time from not just football but sport in general. So for me, it's, as I said earlier on, it's been a real big game changer for me getting involved with the CBD. Well, when I first heard about it, I was probably, like most people, quite intrigued. People were saying, "Oh, you've got to get involved. This is amazing." I lived close to a boxer in Swansea, and I was on a Twitter feed one day, and he was saying how much it was helping his well-being, his day-to-day, going about training and everything else. And then he was giving it to the lads he was training, these young boys, because they were working so hard, helping them with their recovery. And I was intrigued. I was like, well, so I got in touch with a gentleman called Anthony, and he sent me a couple of bottles, and he said, "Try this, John, see how you get on." And straight away, I felt like I needed to get involved a little bit more. And then I was doing it for a couple of months then, and he kindly said to me, "Would you like to be an ambassador for the company?" And I totally agreed straight away. And now people will be very aware that I'm tweeting quite a lot, and I'm putting it on my social media because I want to help people. And I think by putting it out there to all my followers, I think it helps people, and it makes people realize that it's something that's been really beneficial to someone like me that have struggled with his health, over the years. And my Twitter feed just goes mad for it. I can't physically answer every single tweet that comes in to me, but we've got a team as well that can also help me to get back to people as quickly as we can, and recommend whatever they feel like using. So now I'm an ambassador. I'm a very proud ambassador for Supreme CBD, and it's going really well, and I'm privileged and honoured at the fact that I'm involved with the company and I can help people. And that ultimately, I've got, I'm an ambassador for Ladbrokes. I've got the John Hartson recovery workshops, the gambling workshops, where we go out and we speak to people about helping them with their recovery and the potential danger signs and the pitfalls of gambling. Not telling them to stop gambling, but just telling them to gamble safely and be in control of what you're doing. So I've got all these things going on in my life, but one of the things I'm really happy to be involved with is the Supreme CBD. Oh, it's definitely the oil. It's the oil for me. I've tried the CBD rub when on my knee. That really helped me. It goes into like it sort of freezes the area where you put the cream on, and it numbs it as well for a while. And then when the numbness goes away, I just feel it's a lot more mobile, my knee, because it can stiffen up after the knee replacement. The rub I've used quite a lot. The gummies I've got to be careful with, because I quite like the gummies. You're only allowed to take so many a day to get the effect, but if I do too many gummies, like everybody else, I'll go through boxes and boxes. But no, obviously, for me, the one I really like to use is the oil. I just take 2 pepits and just under my tongue in the morning, and there's so many nerves around your tongue and everything else. It just slowly goes through my body, and I feel the benefits from that. So, the product I like to use, and there's different sizes. There's just different types of CBD rub. The gummies have all changed as well. The products are changing all the time, and it's all on the website. Everybody can have a look on Supreme CBD at my Twitter feed, and have a look for yourself on the menu. What would you like? And I think there's lots and lots of deals always going on there. But again, I have to emphasize it's all about helping people for me. It's all about giving people the benefits that I've been fortunate to have. That's the main cause. It's just a little strawberry, and the lemon ones I like as well, the little yellow ones. But I can't have too many, as I said, I can't have too many, because I'll be tucking in all the time, every day. But no, they're really nice actually to take, but there's a real reason for taking them. Again, your well-being, your, if you're anxious about anything, your sleep. And I bump into people all the time in the local garage, down the village, if I go and do a football match. And everybody asks me about the Supreme, and it's only until they try it they'll feel the benefits. Lots of people think, oh well, it's just this, it's just that. It can't possibly have this much effect. But believe me, I've been through a lot. My body's been through a lot, and it's the recovery and the pain-free and the well-being. I feel just getting around my life every day, it's been a huge advantage to me. Well, I think it varies. I think the morning generally, because then you attack the day. And I think first thing in the morning, if I take a little bit of oil, settles me down and I'm ready. Generally at night time, I'm a good sleeper anyway. But obviously when you've had the operations and you got aches and pains when you wake up, and sometimes you'll have your neck will be in a certain situation on the pillow and you'll wake up and you're stiff. So definitely in the mornings, if I want a really good sleep, if I can stay in bed in the morning for an extra couple of hours, then I'll take a bit of oil before going to bed. And my sleep, my wife is waking me up in the morning type of thing. You do really get a really good sleep on them. But preferably, if I'm being honest, it's probably the morning time, because it sets me up for the day. Well, all you can do is try it. For people, it's, some people, you can't force anybody to do anything, but as I said earlier on, it's helped so many people, and it's not a myth. Why would so many people get involved on social media? It really benefits a lot of people, any age, elderly, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and as I said, you can't force people to have it, but for me, it's been really beneficial. And what I would say to people who haven't tried it is just give it a go. Give it a go and see how you get on with it. When I was a little bit not quite sure, I tried it. Straight away I thought, I've got to have a little bit more of this, and it's not addictive. It's not gonna take you to places that you've never been before. I always say to people, check with your doctor. Check with your doctor, that's very important before you use it. But give it a try. There's nothing worse than not trying nothing and seeing everybody else get the benefits from it.